Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles. Along with me, as always, is my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Cloth. How you doing today, Jacob?
I'm doing swell, Charles. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like I've got a very morning radio voice going on right now, you know? I feel like I could talk to you about the news and, really gloss over some horrible shit that's happened in the world.
Today, the world was destroyed.
Today, the World Bank collapsed. In other news, this puppy fell onto a kitten. Now, they're pregnant. Sports with Jeremy Watson. Hello, my name's Jeremy Watson. Sports were played today. Someone kicked a ball.
I thought I was going to be Jeremy Watson.
Nope, you get to be Heather McIntosh, our technology reporter. Over to you, Heather.
I think you should be Heather.
My name's Heather McIntosh, and I'm a technology reporter.
I'm not letting this continue.
Yeah, this isn't anything. But today I have a televisual series for us to imagine together. The show that I'm pitching today is kind of a mess. It's about two men who are also messes. Today I am pitching Blank and Blank's advertising agency.
Blank and Blanks.
Yeah. Blank and Blanks.
Okay.
So, the gimmick of this show is that each week our two characters, Frederico and Dale, who I will introduce to you shortly, are going to be taking two seemingly unrelated products, right, or two seemingly unrelated things, and mashing them together into one product and then trying to sell that product, right? And it ends poorly in every instance. So Frederico, he's the face of this advertising agency. He's a handsome, charming, naive young man who has a knack for saying the wrong thing at the right time. You know, he's a bit of a dummy, but he's sweet, he's nice, and he cares about people. And that is in direct contrast to Dale. He's the brains. He's an old school ad man through and through, whose confidence has gotten him through most of life's challenges. He's just confident. That's where his brains come in, right? He's just like, I can do it, even if he has no idea what the fuck he's doing, right? So those are our two main characters, Frederico and Dale. And they're just two buddies. They live in a van together, and on the side of the van it says Blank and Blank's advertising agency, and they drive around, and they get contracted out by various companies and individuals in order to advertise products. All right, so, for example, I'll give you a good example. Episode 1.
Instead of a bad example would be not good.
Oh, yeah, bad example would be like they advertise pens and pen caps. They go together pretty easily, you know?
Yep.
But
that's the whole episode. It's over.
It's over. They won. There's no jokes. There's no comedy.
It's just that. Yep, that's just that.
Yeah.
It's just the ad. The whole show is actually just advertisements playing the entire time.
But the first episode I have written down is Bees and Laces. So that's how the episode titling is going to go. We're going to fill in the blanks. So, Bees and Laces. So the boys get contracted by a beekeeping company and a shoelace company separately. And they decide we're going to take these two things and we're going to combine them into one product that's going to sweep through the market and everyone's going to love it. All right? So the idea they come up with is they're going to enslave some bees and tie them to the shoelaces and then teach the bees how to tie shoes for people. All right? So that's the thing. That's what they've come upon is self-tying shoelaces, but they're not actually self-tying, it's bees. They're tying them. And they sell these out, and for whatever reason, these men are very good at getting people to buy things, right? So they go to all over the place. They go to shoe stores. They go to, shoe shiners. They go to malls all over the place, and they sell out of this product. Hundreds of bees have been sold, enslaved, tied to shoes, and sold to people. And turns out, just having a bunch of bees stuck on people's shoes at all times is not a good idea.
What?
Yeah. So, lots of people get stung. Right, initially, and the product goes down.
The bees would die, wouldn't they?
Well,
the bees die.
We'll get to that.
Super bees.
that a lot of people get stung. So the people who've gotten stung take Frederico and Dale to court, and the bee rights organizations, they get very angry because they're angry about the enslavement of these beautiful bees, and they're like, well, we're gonna take you to court too.
Jerry Seinfeld to play their head bee or something.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. We should get Jerry Seinfeld to be the bee lawyer, because I'm imagining it's a man-sized bee, in like a
that'd
suit.
Be great.
And he's just like, I'm very perturbed about this. But
we could make this show within the same universe as the Bee Movie.
We could. The bees in the Bee Movie grew to be man-sized because maybe Jerry Seinfeld's bee, Barry Benson, whatever the fuck his name was, had a baby with that woman who was in love with a bee for some reason. And then that bee became a lawyer and fought for bee rights.
Yeah, because he wanted to be happy.
Exactly. Bam. But Dale and Frederico lose both of their court cases. They're found liable for causing all of those bee stings because they told people that the bees were trained, but really they just knocked them up with like drugs, like bee, morphine, and so they're just really dopey and they'll do whatever you ask them to when they're high, but after a day it wears off and they just get really pissed off. And then all of the bee lawyer also takes them to court and wins, and they are forced to, and I have an idea for the outcome, because the outcome will always be like a comedic play on the idea of the product. And so my outcome is either they are forced to tie shoes, like that becomes their community service is the outcome of the court case, and they're forced to tie everyone's shoes for however many weeks while dressed as bees, or they are forced to be beekeepers, but they're not allowed to have the bee suits. They just have to do it naked. What you
could probably have one and one, one do one thing, one do the other thing.
Yeah, that's good, because maybe Dale is like, we'll have the judge like present the two punishments, and we're like, either you have to do community service in the center of town, or if you do community service out in nature. And maybe Dale, because he's the smart one, is like, I'm gonna do nature. I hate being in town. I hate all these people. Being in nature, I probably just get to hang out, drink a few beers with a local county sheriff, pick some trash up off a highway, whatever. And turns out he has to naked beekeep, whereas Frederico just has to tie people's shoes for them, and he's just very happy about it, and he's nice, And each of these episodes is going to be about 10 minutes long, probably. Not long episodes, short, quick, animated, absurdist comedy. Little, very digestible chunks. Blank and blanks.
It's animated, you said?
I was thinking animated, but like a
giant bees would have to be. Well, it would be funny to see Jerry Seinfeld in a very bad giant bee costume.
That would be very funny. But yeah, I was thinking it's animated, but it's not like... I think it's gonna have a similar vibe to regular show, but no animal people. It's all just regular people, and they live in a very...
Except for the bees.
Yeah, except for...
They're not animals, but they are.
They're insects, but there will be occasional, like, just really weird out there, things that people just treat as normal, and that's part of the absurdism, right?
Yeah.
But
I love when there's weird things that people just treat as average.
Yeah, it's good. My second episode is Cups and Scalpels.
Cups and Scalpels.
So Cups and Scalpels, and I'm thinking this show's gonna have kind of a... We were talking about Futurama last week, and how it's not an adult animated show, but it has some adult things in it. I'm like, yeah, it's a family animated show, so I think that's gonna be the level that this show is at, right?
Okay. So a couple things for the parents to chuckle at, that the kids will be like, I don't know, but the kids will still like the show.
Yeah, there will be like, nobody's gonna say any curse words. There's not gonna be like any realistic violence whatsoever. But in this episode, there will be alcohol consumed, and the resulting alcohol consumption will result in surgery. So, that's an adult comedy thing. That's a family comedy thing. So, Cups and Scalpels. Our boys, again, we never follow up. These are very much like self-contained episodes. There's no, crossover.
Are there like hints that stuff's continuing? Like in the background of this episode is like the beekeeper costume or something?
Maybe.
Or I guess he doesn't have that. Like
maybe we could do
a
like
bunch of shoelaces or old bee shoes.
Yeah, maybe we could have like something in the background, but I am thinking that these are like, they're going to be very similar to Tom and Jerry style sketches, I think. In that, you can watch a Tom and Jerry skit and not know anything about Tom and Jerry and get it immediately. And you can watch all of Tom and Jerry and it'll still, you might be able to pick up on a few more things, but it'll be about the same, right?
Yeah.
So, Cups and Scalpels, they are contracted out to create some ad campaign around cups and around scalpels by two separate companies, mind you. These companies never want to be combined, but Blank and Blank's their whole thing is combining two completely unrelated products into one. And so they decide that they're going to combine the cup and the scalpel by just taking a cup and like sticking a scalpel on the bottom of it, so you can use a scalpel and take a drink. It's like for your doctor on the go and stuff like that. And they think it's a great idea.
Wait, so a scalpel on the bottom, like, so that you couldn't set the cup down because there's a knife on the bottom?
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay. And
you have to be holding the cup, gotcha.
And they're like, this is great. They go to all the hospitals all around the city, and they give away these free sample, like, cup scalpels. And it turns out doctors like to drink alcohol. And so this results in a bunch of doctors getting really drunk in the middle of surgery. And just cutting into people and taking a drink and be like, it's fine, I'm gonna sign my name, it's cool. Take a sip, all the stuff. They're having a good time with it. And this does not end well, if you could imagine. And we could have a good, fun, scene, because we can't show, like, organs being sliced open and stuff like that, obviously. But we can show, like, oh, this woman came in, she came in for a liposuction, surgery or whatever, and she comes out with twice as much fat than she came in with, right? Or, oh, this guy, he got a piece of rebar stuck in his arm, and then he came out and, they just replaced his...
Now he's got 2 pieces of rebar.
He's got 2 pieces of rebar stuck in his arm. He's like, God damn it. Okay, fine. Right? Or, stuff like that. Woman, goes in, she's getting plastic surgery. She comes out, she's got horse legs, right? Just shit that doesn't make any sense. And they're like, oh, well, doctors are a little drunk, but that's okay. That's all right. It's fine. And I'm not really sure what their punishment will be for this one, besides running out of the hospital, being chased by all of the weird medical freaks that have been made by the drunk doctors.
So it's not like their fault, right?
No, it's not their fault.
So maybe their punishment wouldn't be legal. It's just like the doctors trying to kill them.
Yeah, the patients and the doctors. Maybe. Oh, it could be funny if the doctors decide we're going to attack them, and they flip the cups upside down, and they tape them to a spear, and so you've turned the cup scalpel into a cup scalpel spear, and they just stab at thee, stab at thee, and it's just our boys running away from the problems. And maybe we
could focus on one doctor in particular, who's like they're passing out the cups at the hospital. It's like a doctor that we followed him before, and he just got out of AA, and he's really working on his drinking. And the cup comes, and he can't help but control. He can't control himself, and obviously screws up, and then he sees them. He's like, "This is your fault." Does the spear thing that you were talking about?
Yeah,
and
chases him out, throws the spear at him, hucks it at him. Maybe gets one of them in the back, and they don't notice. They get in the van. They're like, "Whew, that was close." And then Dale looks over at Frederico, and Frederico's got a scalpel sticking out of his chest, and he hasn't figured it out yet. He's like, "Yeah, that was really close."
They go back to the hospital. He's their doctor.
Turn around. Yeah, exactly. And that's the ending of the episode, is they are in the emergency room, and they're like, the doctor will see you now. They walk into the room, and it's that guy just sitting there in a chair, you know, just like, what a day. You guys again. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, sort of, what's that called? What's that show called? Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yep.
Ending. That sort of thing. What else? My next episode is episode 3, sour cream and shaving cream. So these two products have been combined. They're not chemists, but our boys are contracted to create a marketing campaign for sour cream and also contracted to make a marketing campaign for shaving cream. And so they decide, what if we just put it in one can? So they've got a shaving cream, sour cream thing, and they're like, well, who likes sour cream? Teens. Who needs to shave more? Teens. All right, let's do it. So they go to a high school, and maybe they set up like a taco stand. They're like, oh yeah, use our new shaving sour cream. It's good for both, completely edible, and will give you a nice clean shave. Get that peach fuzz off your lips.
Sour.
Yeah.
Positive shave and shower.
Very good. Very good.
Shave and sour.
Sour. I like that. And they're, they give it all to the teens. The teens all buy it. They love it. The teens are putting the shaving cream on their tacos, and then they're putting them on their faces and shaving. They're putting them on their legs and shaving. The whole swim team loves it. It's their favorite thing in the whole wide world. And turns out, just a can full of sour cream that you shave.
There's absolutely no shaving cream.
Oh, it's just it.
So when they go into this, they start shaving with it. They're just cutting their face up.
Mm-hmm. Well, they also get really sick.
We'd have to test this out, Charlie. You have to shave with sour cream to really be able to tell what the effects are. I mean, it could work.
It could. You're right. And maybe
the episode of Seinfeld where Kramer shaves with butter and it seems to work.
Is there?
Sour cream works.
Maybe. There was also that episode of Seinfeld where Kramer shaved his undercarriage and then showed it to Jerry, and Jerry was like, that's not good. That's an episode I think about regularly. Oh, the alarm stopped. But yeah, all the teens get really horribly ill, like just vomiting everywhere. Maybe we could have a fun gag where the swim team is swimming, they're doing laps, and then the guy at the front of the laps just starts heaving, and then the others just have to stop, and then they all start heaving, and then the whole pool is just filled with vomit as they're being dragged out, and it's just oh, this is really bad.
Wait, why are they vomiting?
Because they've eaten shaving cream and sour cream mixed together. And it's not good for you.
Oh, it is just that mix. I thought you said it was just sour cream in the can.
No,
okay.
It's all mixed. It can be just sour cream, and they just didn't put an expiration date on it or something. Like they didn't check when the sour cream went off, and they've been selling 2-day-old sour cream, unrefrigerated.
Gosh, it's a mixture.
But it's a mixture, and it's just everyone's super sick. The whole school's really sick, and the boys, our boys, blank and blank, are now forced to teach a health class in the school about the dangers of accepting strange men's products, and also the importance of a clean shave. And maybe Frederico can have a beard and he has to shave it to be part of the thing, and he can have his beard back by the end of next episode.
Yeah, it just grows it back.
Yeah,
immediately.
What's our next?
You could do a discontinuity thing where maybe 8 episodes later, randomly, his beard is a lot shorter.
Yeah.
And it's because technically that episode was after this
Oh
one.
yeah, I like that. I do like that. And they're like, I feel like you look different. Yeah, my beard just started growing back. I can't believe I had to shave it for those stupid kids. Ugh. None of them even had.
Or he was wearing a fake beard in this for a while after.
That would be good. Just tears it off.
It never grew back, maybe. And he just says it. But I don't know. You don't want to do much continuity stuff, I guess. But
it could never grow back after that, and he's just always wearing a fake one. That would be a funny gag to reveal at episode 25. Because this is the kind of show that you do 30 episodes per season, Yeah. Because it's simple animation, short sort of things. My next thing is headphones and drill bits. They're forced to sell headphones and drill bits, and so they decide we'll combine the two And they spend all night engineering and putting together these headphones that can double as drill bits. And turns out drill bits are a lot smaller than headphones. So they give them out. They go to all the stores, all the shops. They hand them out. They give them away. They sell them, that sort of thing. People are loving them. And then does drill bits keep getting caught in people's ears and like falling down into their heads? We can have a fun...
What?
Because they're drill bits, but they're also headphones. So somebody will use it as a drill bit, and they'll put it back in their ear, and turns out drill bits are a lot smaller than headphones, so it just falls into their head, and they can't get it out. And we can have a fun gag where, Frederico is walking by, he's on Venice Beach or whatever, he's got a metal detector, and he's walking by, and he, it gets really, really loud, and he just, like, isn't really paying attention. He looks up. It's just all the people who have been using his product, and they've all got drill bits stuck in their ears. And they're like, oh, we can't do anything about this. What do we do? What do we do? Oh, no. And then episode ends with them getting a high-powered magnet and just sucking them out of people's ears really quick. And it's just like, ugh, this is nasty. Because it's a drill bit covered in earwax that you just sucked out of a guy's head. But let's come up with some other ones. Come on, think of some.
They have to sell.
I'll say
milk
and
hats. Milk hats.
Milk hat. All right, they have to sell the milk hat.
Milk hat.
That's good. I like that. What do you think? Are you thinking like a hat that's like clear plastic that's filled with milk, and they don't think about the?
I'm thinking of like a hat that is a container of milk, and milk is in it, and you can. It's like if you need, you're like, oh, I'm out of milk. Well, you can just use your milk hat.
There you go, and there's a little faucet on it, and it opens up, and all the milk pours out, and they close it. But they
but it's just the milk's been there for years, so it's all sour milk.
It's horrible.
You drink it, you fucking die. And it's heated up by your head. It's just sitting on your head all day, too.
It's keeping the sun away from your head, so it's like also catching all the sunlight, and it's just like, people try it, they put it in their coffee, it curdles, all the stuff. It's just a nightmare. And then,
They never not have your favorite type of milk at your coffee shop? Well, get the milk hat.
Get the milk hat. Locally sourced milk. We stole a cow. Look at her. And it's a bull. And they're like, this is the best cow we could find. This is great.
This is the best cow nature has.
Nature has one big udder. One big udder for even better milk.
And we also sell vegan milk hats. It's just also normal milk. Like they just write vegan.
Yeah, they put a big V on it. It's just like, yeah, it's vegan.
That's it. That's the vegan milk.
We took the milk. The cow's a vegan, and we took the milk from the cow, so it's vegan milk. So. Shut up, vegans. And then it can end with them selling cheese hats. Like that's how the episode ends.
Yeah, they start selling cheese hats.
All the milk goes rotten, so they have to buy all of the milk hats back. But the milk hats, eventually the milk rots so much it becomes cheese, and then they sell cheese hats, and they're like,
yeah, because that's how that works. That'd be funny.
Yeah,
we could have one character. I don't know, maybe. Was it Frederico?
Yeah.
Is like all upset. He's like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, we have all these milk hats that people return. We have nothing to do with them. Meanwhile, Dale's in the corner eating a milk hat that's turned into cheese. He's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, it tastes pretty good.
It's cheese hat. It's good. It's nice. Cheese hat. Dale, I have an idea. Oh, Frederico, don't hurt yourself. No, I think this is a good one. Hat cheese.
Another one. What's something that is always going to end with them, failing and getting punished in some way, or is it ever going to be like a success that does not a failure until after they've left?
I think it can always end with them failing, but I think we can do what you're saying, where it's like they sell the product and then they leave. And then the product malfunctions and everybody curses them. And then that leaves they can come back later. But I'm imagining it all takes place in a city. I was thinking LA, I don't know why. Just because that's where a lot of grifters live.
I kind of assumed this was the future, but okay.
I was thinking this is like a modern,
interesting
contemporary thing, and they're just dudes living in a van. together.
Gotcha.
How about on 3, I'll say something and you say something, and then they'll do a product.
Oh, we have to go on with an episode for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Boomerang. Boomerang window. All right.
So, do you ever want your window to wait, I don't know. Your window to come back at you?
You ever want to get rid of your window, but also want to have it have it come back to you when you need it? Try the boomerang window. It's great. It's useful. It's effective and cheap, and it's also great at keeping burglars out. And I'm imagining like it's the size of a normal window, but it's shaped like a boomerang. So there's just like big holes where it sits in the wall that people can climb through, and they're like, look how good it is at keeping burglars out. And you just it's like an actor, obviously, trying to get in, and very obviously being able to get in, but pretending that they can't get in, for a commercial,
Mm-hmm. Conversely, it could be a glass boomerang that people throw. It's like, do you want to see through your boomerangs, or it gets lost in the air as you throw it at your enemies or whatever? So and then you throw it, and then it comes right back at you, but now you can't see it because it's glass and it's in the air, and also when it hits your hand, it shatters. Yeah. So now you're cut up and everything.
And now you're all covered in glass. And the episode ends with the Australian Window Association coming to sue them.
Yeah, the Australian Window Association has really strict window rules.
Yeah.
But they end up winning the case. How about because there's randomly a random line in the law, like in a really obscure part, is boomerangs do constitute as windows. Boomerang sizes. Window-sized boomerangs and boomerang-sized windows constitute legal window usage, and shall be accepted. And we get like the cheering in the courtroom and all this stuff. Can we cast, because they're obviously going to need a lawyer, can we cast Bob Odenkirk as their lawyer? That might be a little too on the nose.
You're right. Who should we cast as their lawyer?
If we did, we do Bob Odenkirk you want, but I feel like that might be a little too,
yeah.
Us. We could do,
you're right.
Charlie Kelly.
We could do Charlie Kelly. That would be
Charlie
funny.
Day,
Yeah, the best bird lawyer.
The best bird lawyer
in Philadelphia.
Do we want this lawyer to be good or bad?
We want this lawyer,
Sleazy.
I think, to be bad, sleazy, but like stumble into greatness occasionally. Maybe we cast like somebody played
Cera.
Michael Cera is our lawyer. There we go. He's the only live-action person there, is Michael Cera.
I think we should, maybe not Michael Cera, someone like Michael Cera who's, like, really young, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we should get a really young lawyer, like someone that's going to be 20 years old, that's their lawyer, that, finished law school early because of, like, their parents, but is now out in the world and has no idea what to do.
Millie Bobby Brown.
She's their lawyer.
She's their lawyer. There you go. That's the only young person I could think of, besides Tom Holland.
Tom Holland is their lawyer.
Okay,
and he's
that's
very
good.
obviously also Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's just really like...
That'd be funny.
He's really, like, his clothes are all messed up. He's like really like, his head's
always
just like...
late, never shows up.
Yeah. Constantly like just in his suitcase, he's constantly tucking webs in. Just like loose webbing. And he's like, it's a problem, insects. I'm a... exterminator on the side. Just don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm here. We're good. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's do this.
I like Tom Holland, lawyer, but also secretly a superhero. But it's just never mentioned. It's just kind of suggested.
It's still New Yorker. He's still like a superhero in New York, and he's also a lawyer in LA. So he just constantly has to like fly back and forth or run. Or
I think flying makes more sense.
Or hitchhike. He could hitchhike.
He can hitchhike. It's a long trip for a hitchhiker.
It's so long, and he's constant. Maybe that can be an episode in and of itself, is that our boys are being sued and their lawyer's not here because he's hitchhiking from New York to LA. And it's just all of the crazy characters he meets along the way, and then he gets there and it's like, yeah, They just gave us a public attorney. We got off, slap on the wrist. It's not that big a deal.
Good too.
Yeah. So
you're good. See you later.
We'll give you a call if we Have a good one. Goodbye. That's it. What else? Yeah. All right. Now let's do another product for our boys.
The Toyota Burger.
Maybe. Okay. How about this?
I have a picture in my head of what this is, but I want you to figure out what the Toyota Burger is.
I was thinking it's like an old Toyota factory shuts down, and so they decide to turn it into like a McDonald's style place. But they realize that after they begin production and it's going all right, they realize that meat and bread and cheese and all this stuff is expensive, and they don't have enough money, and all they have is car parts. So they start to supplement the meat with just like nuts and bolts and metal and stuff.
Yeah, they just really grind it and smooth it down and just it's 70% beef, 30% car
and
parts.
Then as the show goes on, as the episode goes on, the Toyota Burger gets more and more popular until it's like eventually it's like 2% beef, 98% car parts. And people are just like eating it and then getting horrible internal bleeding, and it's like, oh, it's clearing out all the toxins. And then a TV doctor comes on and explains to them what's going on, and the Toyota Burger factory goes under. But what are you thinking? What was your idea of a Toyota Burger?
I was just thinking of a car made out of burgers, but I like yours better.
Oh, it's good. I like both. Maybe they could do both. Maybe
they disagree about what they should do with this factory. And that's the whole argument. One guy's making Federico's making the car burger, and Dale is just the restaurant going.
Yeah, but Federico's just driving around town like trying to make Dale jealous with his car.
Maybe that's why Dale doesn't have enough beef. It's because Federico's using it to make the car.
He made it into a car, and he keeps like popping tires because it's just beef, and so they have to like he sneaks in at night and steals.
Doesn't fucking work.
Yes. All right. Good. And then the ending
people
comes.
Eating cars and driving burgers.
Yeah. That's good. And at the end, they both escape in the car burger, but it just falls apart because turns out Federico was eating the internals because he was hungry. Just like, I got so hungry, I ate the engine. I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm so sorry. That wasn't beef.
It was a real engine.
That was the real engine part.
Oh. That explains. And he just starts throwing up like nails and stuff.
Yeah.
One more, and then I think we're good.
The
Shamrock desk
Shamrock.
Desk Shamrock. All right, that's good. I like that.
I don't know where that's going.
I think it's like they go to a chemist and they get these tiny little shamrocks developed, like chemically altered to make them into just like desks. On they grow on little leaves, and they just have oh, you get 3 desks, good job for you. And they just start a underground trading for the desk shamrock, and it becomes a front for organized crime, and they have to escape with the luck of the desk shamrock and the desk leprechaun who arrives because of the desk shamrock.
I don't understand any of that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Doesn't make any sense, but you know what? It's fine. Maybe we could go really stupid with it, and it's it becomes like a trading card, like Pokemon sort of thing. And there's different.
I got mahogany, and you got oak.
Mahogany, death shamrocks. There's a 4-leaf clover oak desk shamrock.
Yeah, that's.
It's like a really serious trading card game.
It's a really serious trading card game, and
this is their most successful business so far, is this Death Shamrock trading card game.
And they have to play someone for the rights to it, right? Like somebody claims the copyright on the Desk Shamrock because it's so successful, and the only way that they're willing to give up the copyright is if Frederico and Dale beat them in a Desk Shamrock competition. Turns out that there's been a game developed with the Desk Shamrock like cards or trading
There's this
things.
huge like Pokemon / Yu-Gi-Oh style battle at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And
we
they're
do
like, we
this,
don't know what...
We do like the whole thing where it's like the crazy fight that we're watching with these desks fighting, and then we cut back to the real world, which is actually just them throwing cards on the ground. Like,
just putting Desk
like
Shamrocks.
sewer.
Yeah, that's...
It'd be funny if at the end they're so used to losing every single time in these things.
Yeah.
That they win, but they don't even realize that they won. They're like, oh, damn, well, I guess we'll get them next time. And the judge is like, wait, you guys won. And they just keep walking away down the tunnel. You guys won. You can take the money. What are you doing?
So, what's going on? And he's like
sucks.
chasing them down the street, and, you know, they're just talking, and you could see him in the background chasing after them. He gets, you know, like hit by a bus or something. And it's just like,
all the
he's
money
gone.
just shoots up into the air.
Up into the air, and then, you know, gets struck by lightning and turns into a big pile of smoldering ash. And they don't even notice. Man, LA weather, huh? Lightning in the middle of the day. Whew, who could have thought? You want to go get a shamrock shake? Heck yeah, I do, buddy. Heck yeah, I do. And then they go. Do you want to do one more? Because I feel like Dex Shamrock wasn't our best.
I think it turned out to be good, and so I'm okay.
I think so too. Yeah,
I think we're good.
All right, good. Well, that was a short episode. Short, fun, light little episode. And I want to thank you all for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles Long. With me, as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat. And don't forget, we will be here next week for you to imagine what we imagine with our brand new televisual series. And I promise the next one I do will be more thought out, but I want to do a little bit of an improv one this time. Thank you all, and goodbye.
Bye.